In this like 5-minute session, we're gonna cover how to set up the LSS with a static IP. So once the LSS comes, when you deploy it on a VMware or Hyper-V, we have multiple possibilities for LSS deployment. It will normally pair up with an IP from your DHCP server. So the IP my current scan I obtained was .130. Now I wish to understand what is the network interface running and how to set it up with a static IP. So first I'm going to type network. Then I'm going to type interface. So now I see the interface I currently have is ETH0. Most commonly it will be either ETH0 or ENS33. So I'm going to type interface ETH0. Now I logged into that specific interface. Not logged in, but the commands I'm running will be running on that interface. So I'm going to type DHCP off. Now you can see the configuration is saved. So I'm going to type IP, and it should be a lowercase, and assign the IP I wish for my scanner to obtain. So 86.129, for example. Now within that IP configuration and within the interface configuration, I also type netmask to provide the masking. So 255.255.255.0. That's in my case. Now I'm going to click exit because I'm going to exit from the interface and going to do a change that is global. I'm going to set the DNS, which we normally call it NS. So NS, and I'm using Google DNS, so 8888. I'm going to set as well the gateway. I'm going to type gateway and then the IP of my current router, so 86.1. I'm going to click on save once again, click on exit, and exit once again. And there you go, we set up the IP. So now we're going to click on network, press enter, ETH0. Click on IP, and now we see all the details we wanted. So our primary NS server is 888, right? And our gateway is 86.1. And the IP, which is most importantly, is 192.168.86.129. So now we can go ahead in Google Chrome and get to the scanner interface. So 192.168.86.129 should be HTTPS, of course. I'm going to click on advanced, set in the default permissions. So we will send it to you later on, and I need to also change it. So as part of configuring the scanner, I also need to change my permissions. I can see that the scanner status is okay. The scanner is connected to one of our clouds named Purple. I can see here in the network side that DHCP is set off. That's the IP I've configured. I can also add a secondary DNS server, and I can run a diagnostic. So a diagnostic would be trying to access purple.beyondsecurity.com, for example. So I'm going to click on test connectivity. And now you can see that I can reach Purple on port 80 and port 443, which is great. On Purple, I'm going to pair my scanner. So when I start an immediate scan or start a scheduled scan, the information server on Purple will be able to provide a command to the scanner for starting the scan. But I also need to check my connectivity to updates.beyondsecurity.com for getting the test revisions. So the test revisions are actually critical because those are the method for Beyond Security to send you security updates on new tests. So I can see that the connection is also okay over here. I can go into the RPC revision. Over here, I would see my encryption key and my current scanner server ID. And I can see the heartbeat. So every 5 seconds, my scanner will initiate the connection, as you can see in the communication direction, will initiate the connection to that information server sending, "Hey, I'm here. Do you have any job for me?" That's like the cycle. So when the information server actually has a job for that scanner, it will send him back, "Yeah, go ahead, scan IPs XYZ." Once the scanner completes, it will send that to the in the tunnel to the information server. In case I want to change the server, let's say I moved from one server with Beyond Security to another. For example, I had my LSS connected to shared, to a cloud hosted solution, and I wish to move it to my on-premise solution. So that can be done easily, just typing the server ID of the new server I'm trying to connect, let's say my on-premise server, and its IP or host name. And once we are in the scanner in the information server side, like if we go in here in purple, we can do this connection by going into deployment, LSS, and clicking on the plus button to add it. But as you probably know, scanners come pre-configured, so we will do this setup for you. We will set up the LSS already in the information server side. And you can see that the settings are pretty much, in line with each other. So if the LSS initiates a connection, that's all as well going to be the way it's shown on on the information server side. If we are using 3DES and then a TLS layer, so it's going to be running through HTTPS. That should also show over here. The encryption key should match and so on. And over here, once you set up a new scanner, let's say that you deploy the scanner at your environment, you put up the static IP, you put everything there. What you need to do is contact Beyond Security Support, and we will assign permissions for you. So let's say if you are one of the users over here, like this scanning user group, the demo group, and so on, we will initiate the connection. We will provide you ownership of that local scanner. If we look further more into the settings, we have the configuration side where we're gonna replace the password. So we gonna type the new password that we wanna set up. Then we have the ability to change the time zone of the scan, so the scanner will have the correct schedule. We have a update proxy. If we want to get the test revisions via proxy, we can do so, or even if we want to get it through the internal update server. So let's say that we have an on-premise solution and we want the scanner to connect to that on-premise solution first, and then from there to connect to updates.beyondsecurity.com, we can do it over here. Over here, you can also see the updates downloaded. So we are currently on revision 9.15, and as you can see, it has been downloaded successfully. Thank you for listening to that short explanation. And please let me know if you have any questions. Just email us at support@beyondsecurity.com.